Jim Jordan of the great state of Ohio. Mr. Jordan, welcome back as always. So,
good to be with you, Larry.
Talking to Laura Ingraham, who interviewed President Trump and so forth about the rogue judges. In the House, I know there's been one member's talking about impeachment. I just want to get your take on potential impeachment or holding hearings, or what do you want to do about these rogue judges?
Well, normally the course of action, of course, is if you got a bad decision from a judge, you got the appellate courts and you appeal. But I do think in this one case with Judge Boasberg, this guy who told I mean, think about it, Larry. This judge said, turn the plane around, bring back the hardened gang member criminals who've done terrible things, who are in the country illegally, bring them back to the United States. Maybe the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So you start to think maybe this judge, particularly with this judge's history with the FISA court, giving the warrants to go spy on President Trump's campaign, the slap on the wrist he gave Kevin Clinesmith, the lawyer who altered documents. You start to think maybe this judge is acting in a political fashion. So I think that's a little different animal. And so for us, I think all options are on the table, and we're gonna have some hearings, dig into this whole issue, and see what we need to do.
Jim, do you have the authority to actually call a federal district judge to testify before your committee?
Yeah, we could do that. He could say no. Then you're tied up in court. There's all those things. But we do think hearings to get into what's going on. Not just this judge, but remember, there have been 15 times where a federal district judge has issued some kind of injunction that applies nationwide. We actually passed legislation 2 weeks ago in the Judiciary Committee, passed a bill that said if a judge makes these kind of decisions, it only should apply to the parties of the case in that respective jurisdiction. Right. So we've passed that through the committee. We think that hopefully that'll go to the House floor and we'll get that bill moving. So we're nervous about the whole thing. But as Chief Justice Roberts said, normally you don't impeach judges. You have the appellate process, the appellate courts. You go to the next step. But in the case with Judge Boasberg, it sure looks like this is being done for political reasons, and maybe just political reasons. That's a different question.
It sure does. And these national injunctions have got to stop. They're just crazy. Anyway, Jim Jordan, thank you. We appreciate it very, very much. Folks, I'll be right back with my last word.